guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we will be reviewing the Chanel Maxi Classic bag. Both of the bags are leather. This is the original and this one is the fake. So when you first touch it, this is way more silky, way more gentle, and this is way more stiff. There's the first difference in the when you feel it. I should also say that this the fake one is not very, it's medium or not very good replica, so we can definitely find better in the market. We are going to compare the logo here. This is very nicely done. This looks very expensive. The gold is very shiny finish to it, and it looks very exactly the gold color, whereas this Chanel, it's very smaller, it's not very white compared to the real one, and the color is very worn out and there is very different kind of gold. So this is the main difference, but also they have copied the right way of how the sea goes. And then we are going to continue with the stitches. The first thing that we see is very bad stitching. You have this kind, we have this kind of stitches that they never happen in Chanel. So looking at the quilting, the stitches on the fake one, there are 9 stitches, and on the original one are 11, and usually on maxi bag has 11 stitches. If you see here on the side on the original, because this bag has been, we have bought it like many years ago. If you see our other video, there are more details on that, and it has been very worn out. I didn't have like quite the best experience with this Chanel bag. Moving on, we can take a look from the bottom here. So I think that the space of the quilting is like very similar. The stitches are way nicely done here because it's very inside, and you do not feel it a lot when you go and touch it with your finger. And here is like the stitching has been done on the top, and you can feel the whole stitches. And also here, as you see, there is an outline on the original, and on the fake one you do not have any outline. You just it just goes on without being cut down with one outline and stitches. The other thing that we can see here, it is not very symmetrical, as you can see, but you can also see from the original that it's not very symmetrical as well. When this quilting ends, another one begins, and it's not very symmetrical as well. Continuing, we are going to compare the pockets on each of the Chanel. So the pocket size first is way bigger than the size of the fake one. The second thing is that it all comes down very nicely, so it's not divided into sections, but it's just like one outline. And in here you have like this kind of divisions and the stitching that goes over, and it doesn't connect with the other part of the quilting. But here we can see that it goes over the stitching, but it's connected with the other part of the Chanel quilting. The other things that we can see, once again, the stitches you do not feel, they are very sewed down inside, they are very nicely done. And on the fake one, the stitches, you can feel them, they're like over all the Chanel bag, and it's very harsh when you feel it, but in the real one you can almost not feel it at all, the stitching. Then we go on this side, and then you have here, you can see there is like this stitching over here. It's very small, it's just like exactly one stitch. And when you look to this side over here, you have like 3 stitches, and it's very deep. Here it is deep as well, but here's way more. And on the other side we have the same, we have 3 or 4 stitches on the fake side and only 1 stitch on the real one. And then we are going to continue with the hardware. So first, the hardware on the original one is gold, is very nice, it's very thin, if you can see it over here. And on the fake one is very it looks gold, but it's not very nicely done. It's very thick, as you can see, and it doesn't match properly with the chains because the chains have been like a very worn out. But if you can see it here, this has been for many years, and the same color is for the chains and the same color for the hardware. Continuing on, we are going to talk about the feel of the chains. So this is quite heavier, and this doesn't have any weight to it at all. Once again, you can find in the market, I think, better replicas. If you want to do your comparisons, so be very careful, because we have compared other bags that the weight has been completely identical. One thing that I will also like to explain, if you see here closely, the original one once again has stitches, and the fake one has this kind of opening. Doesn't make any sense, if you can see. And then something else that you can also see on the review of this bag. Many years ago, one of the leather over here just like cut out, if it makes any sense. And the whole bag was very worn out, and I took it somewhere just to have it look better. But the bag had many problems on its own. It wasn't very, at least for me, it wasn't very durable. Anyways, continuing, we have the inside of the pocket, which has burgundy insides, dark red. We have the stitches over here. The stitches on the original are the same color, as you can see, and on the fake one we have more light color on the stitching, and also dark red inside. Okay. So first we are going to compare on the side. Here we have Chanel and Paris, and as we mentioned before, the screws are even flat or hexagon, and in the fake one there is a cross, if you can see. So this should be like the first indication that it's not a real Chanel. And then also the writing is quite different, if you see, from each other. And also the gold color is very shiny, it's very nice, and this is very worn out. It doesn't look gold at all. If you look at the zipper, you have a piece of leather attached to it, and on the other side you do not have any kind of leather. On the fake one you have so much excess fabric, and it's the same color, and it's very shiny. And if you see, the fabric on the real Chanel has very matte finish, and on this side I cannot even open it because I think it's a fake sticker somehow. And then opening up this other, we have the Chanel logo. On this side, the stitches are done very nicely, as you can see. And in here, it is the same color as the leather. And in here, the leather is burgundy to dark red, and the stitches are very bright red, and it looks completely fake. Continuing on, here we have the Chanel made in Italy. I've seen it once that it should have 1.5 centimeters space, but this has quite more difference, the real one. And then we have the fake one. This has quite less, maybe it's 1.5, but the Chanel made in France is written on the same color of the material. And then this one is written in gold because it has gold hardware, as we've mentioned before. As you can see inside, the bag has been very worn out. This is the original one, once again, and it's not in a very good condition. I'm going to take out my organizer to show you more. Okay, so here we have the pockets. They do not have like huge amount of space. You can definitely put something inside. And then we have here, once again, you do not have excess fabric inside, so it's very nicely and stitched down, sorry. And opening up, there is this huge area, and in this huge area we have it's very spacious. You can put a lot of things. You have this gold hardware, and once again inside it's not in a very good condition, as you can see. Okay, so then you have this hardware over here, when you have the gold Chanel, and it's written very nicely. It looks very good, even that we have had it for years. And then we have the stitches. Once again, you can nearly almost not tell that they have also stitched over here, and on the fake one you can tell. We are going to show that in a bit. I'm going to continue on the fake and we're going to turn back. So as we've stated before, there is the Chanel logo that was quite different, and then here is very spacious. If you open it up, it has a lot of excess skin inside. I'm going to feel, if you want to fill it up, you can see, because on the real Chanel it's very stretched out and you cannot like touch the excess leather. And then continuing on, you have the inside is very spacious, like we've mentioned, and also you can see that there are definitely many stitches over here, and on the original one you couldn't see. And if you see this closely on the hardware, I don't think it's even written anything. I cannot tell, it's like just different letters and doesn't make any sense. So this is the first indicator. Once again, this is like very bad replica. It's not very good. I also would like to show you the authenticity code. The fake one did not have any, but this one does. So here it is. I do not have the authenticity card. It has been bought many years ago. So this is the original one. I don't know what you guys think. Do you want to see a comparison of really first replica, so we can try to find some? But overall, I think that if you look very closely, you can find many details in each bag. We really love the Maxi Chanel, and please be sure to check out the review that we had of the bag. And do not forget to subscribe to our channel if you want more details, and if you want to memorize more of everything that we've told today, please make sure to visit the brand's blogger. I will link the article down below. Thank you very much.